Wel, prawn da iawn I chi gyd, a chroeso cynnes I chi yma I gynhadledd flynyddol e-sgol I chi sydd yn ymuno yn gorfforol efo ni, ond hefyd I bawb sydd yn ymuno a ni yn lle bynnag maen nhw hefyd yn rhithiol. A very warm welcome to all of you to this year's annual e-sgol conference. It's the first time that we are doing this as a hybrid event, which adds another element of pressure to a hybrid learning project. Ond croesi bysedd yr eith bob dim yn iawn heddiw, fingers crossed. Mae yna gyflwyniadau diddorol iawn o'n blaenau ni y prynhawn yma, a da ni gyd dwi'n siŵr yn edrych ymlaen yn fawr at glywed beth sydd gan yn cyfeillio ni i'w ddweud. Ond cyn mynd at y cyflwyniadau hynny, dyma gyfle falle I ni roi trosolwg cyflym I chi o be'n union ydy e-sgol. So, a quick introduction at the beginning here to the project itself and what e-sgol can possibly offer our schools across Wales. Felly, we are a Welsh Government funded project supporting schools as they form collaborative partnerships to offer a wider choice of subjects to students at post-14 and post-16, which will then be delivered via a hybrid model, with most of the subjects delivered virtually, but with face-to-face sessions timetabled at various points during the year. These partnerships are formed usually between schools which are within close proximity to each other, so that those face-to-face sessions can be arranged relatively easily. Mae yna bwyslais gref ar ddarpariaeth Gymraeg, wrth gwrs, sefydlwyd e-sgol yn wreiddiol, mwyn cefnogi'r ysgolion hynny oeddwn I gweld hi'n anodd I ddarparu cyrsiau cyfrwng Cymraeg i'w dysgwyr. Mae hwn yn brosiect sy'n benthyg I hun yn dda i'r pynciau hynny, sydd â niferoedd chydig yn llai o bosib, neu'n fodd allu darparu pwnc am nad ydy'r ysgol yn teimlo bod nhw'n gallu cynnig unrhyw bwnc am ba bynnag reswm. Although e-sgol was founded as a way of supporting rural Welsh medium schools to deliver a more equitable offer of subjects, e-sgol is now seen by Welsh Government as an effective way for any school to work with others to expand their curriculum offer. Felly, cychwyn fel peilot yng Ngheredigion yn 2018, ond bellach mi ydyn ni'n cydweithio gyda 31 o ysgolion ledled Cymru. Mwyn cynorthwyo ysgolion I ddarparu 52 o gyrsiau I 454 o ddisgyblion. And as can be seen here, from the initial pilot scheme in Ceredigion, being able to support 31 schools to deliver a variety of different courses to over 450 students shows the growth quite clearly. And we are looking forward to welcoming around 10 further schools to the project in September, which could see the project reaching around 600 students. Mi fu eleni'n flwyddyn brysur wrth I ni gydweithio gyda sawl asiantaeth neu brosiect. We were pleased to be part of the MPEP project this year to undertake our own research into the distant learning method, which has now led to the creation of a website to include a vast array of strategies that teachers can tap into and use in their day-to-day delivery. Bydd gymuned dysgu proffesiynol, a mi fyddwn ni'n clywed mwy ganddyn nhw yn hwyrach ymlaen, mi fyddion nhw fel grŵp yn cydweithio gyda grŵp gweithredol dysgu anghydamserol Llywodraeth Cymru, mwyn datblygu darpariaeth nhw, a dyn ni'n gobeithio gallu ehangu hynny ymhellach y flwyddyn nesaf. Being part of Welsh Government's asynchronous learning group this year was a way of looking even further at the best ways of delivering a hybrid model of teaching, and securing a formal partnership with the SERA network allowed us to support provision for our math learners as well. Mae'r rhaglen hyfforddiant sydd ar gael i'n hathrawon ni'n datblygu ac yn ehangu'n flynyddol, ac yn hollbwysig wrth fagu hyder yr athrawon hynny I allu mireinio'u dysgu nhw I fod ar-lein. We provide the training and support for the teachers and students. We visit open evenings and events to speak to parents. We support in the setup and provision of equipment, and we strive to ensure that the standard of delivery is of the highest calibre by sharing research-based teaching strategies with the teachers, form professional learning communities, and we'll hear from one later this afternoon, a community between teachers from across Wales so that they can share good practice and hopefully be able to feel confident in their ability to deliver their courses through this medium. I'r rheini ohonoch chi sydd yma yn gorfforol heddiw, mi fydd yna gyfle i chi weld e-sgol in action fel petai yn ystod y prynhawn yn yr arddangosfeydd sydd wedi'w gosod yn y labordy wyddoniaeth i lawr y corridor. And those of you who are joining us virtually and unable, obviously, to visit the various stores that we've set up, you are more than welcome to contact us, to visit our website, to look at the various case studies that we have, and we'll get back to you to arrange visits and meetings as soon as we can. Edrychwn ymlaen yn fawr felly at glywed genoch chi. Ymlaen felly a ni gyda'r gynhadledd. Mi oeddwn ni yn falch iawn i allu cydweithio efo'r gwneudog addysg ar Gymraeg, Jeremy Miles, yn ystod y flwyddyn eleni, ac yn gallu mynd ar ymweliadau ysgolion gydag o. We were pleased to be able to join the Minister for Welsh Government and the Welsh language on various activities during the year. Ac fi recordiodd o fideo yn gynharach yn y flwyddyn i ddangos i gefnogaeth o i'r prosiect, a mi ydyn ni rwan yn mynd i allu gwrando ar y fideo hwnnw. So here now, the Minister for Welsh Language and Education, Mr Jeremy Miles.
Mae addysg yn ganolog i'r weledigaeth sydd wedi osod allan yn Cymraeg 2050, ac mae'n rhaid ni sicrhau fod ein pobl ifanc yn gadael y system addysg yn barod i ddefnyddio'r iaith ym mhob cyd-destun ac yn falch o gael gwneud hynny. I gyflawni hyn, ni'n angen sicrhau fod yr un cyfleoedd ar gael i'n pobl ifanc mewn ysgolion uwchradd ar hyd a lled Cymru, yn enwedig yn ein hysgolion gwledig. A dyma oedd y weledigaeth oedd tu ôl i gynllun e-sgol a sefydlwyd yma yng Nghymru yn 2018 ac mae yna lawer wedi digwydd yn ystod y 4 blynedd diwetha. Mae e-sgol yn fenter wych sy'n dangos sut y gall technoleg addysg drawsnewid addysgu a dysgu. I barhau i ehangu'r cynllun gwerthfawr hyn, rwy'n falch iawn o allu cyhoeddi ein bod yn cynyddu'r cyllid i gynllun e-sgol eleni i 600,000 mwyn parhau'r gwaith da gyda'r nod o ehangu bob ardal o Gymru erbyn Medi 2023. Rwy'n hyderus y byddwn ni'n cyflawni'r nod hwn, ond mae gwnaeth i'w wneud o hyd i hyrwyddo manteision y model. Mae Covid wedi cyflwyno cyfleoedd a heriau newydd ynghylch dyfodol dysgu hybrid a dealltwriaeth pobl o'r model e-sgol. Dyna pam mae digwyddiadau fel y gynhadledd hon heddi yn hanfodol i rannu negeseuon o'r holl waith da sy'n cael ei wneud. Mae e-sgol hefyd yn greiddiol i waith ehangach Llywodraeth Cymru. Un o gamau gweithredu y cynllun gweithlu Cymraeg mewn addysg a gyhoeddwyd yn ddiweddar yw i gynyddu darpariaeth e-sgol mwyn galluogi dysgwyr i fanteisio ar gwricwlwm ehangach drwy gyfrwng y Gymraeg ar lefel tygau a safon uwch. Yn ogystal â hyn, mae awdurdodau lleol wedi bod yn datblygu i cynlluniau strategol y Gymraeg mewn addysg, a dwi'n falch o nodi fod nifer o'r awdurdodau lle nad yw ysgol yn weithredol wedi nodi i bwriad i edrych ar sut gall ysgol gefnogi ei cynlluniau. Mae ysgol yn medru bod yn fanteisiol i bob ysgol, nid yn unig i ysgolion gwledig a chyfrwng Cymraeg. Mae hyn i weld yn y ffordd mae defnydd o fodel ysgol yn cael ei ddatblygu o fewn y sector addysg ehangach. Dros y 2 flynedd diwetha, mae sesiynau adolygu cyrsiau Carlam Cymru wedi cael ei darparu dan fantell ysgol. Yn ystod y flwyddyn academiaeth hon, mae dros 6,000 o ddisgyblion tygau, uwch gyfrannol a safon uwch ledled Cymru wedi manteisio ar y sesiynau gwerthfawr hyn. Mae'r model hefyd wedi cefnogi partneriaeth llwyddiannus rhwng ysgol uwchradd Ceicona ac uned cyfeirio disgyblion Plas Derwen sy'n cynnig blas o wersi prif ffwd na fyddai'r gael fel arall. Mae'n galonogol iawn gweld datblygiad y cynllun dros y blynyddoedd diwetha, ond bydd yn gyffrous hefyd gweld pa mor bell allai gyrraedd yn y dyfodol. Wrth gwrs, yn yr un modd a'n holl gynlluniau ar gyfer cyrraedd y nod o filiwn siaradwyr Cymraeg, nid yw hyn yn bosib heb eich cefnogaeth chi. Diolch yn fawr.
Reit ta, ymlaen a ni felly gyda y gynhadledd. Mae'n braf iawn rwan gallu cyflwyno Nia Jones i chi. Nia is e-sgol's operational coordinator, whose main responsibilities are for organising the Carlam Cymru sessions, which the Minister referred to in his speech. We at e-sgol were commissioned by Welsh Government to run online after-school revision sessions back in 2021, ac mae'r sesiynau hynny wedi mynd o nerth i nerth. Da ni'n hynod ddiolchgar i'n hathrawon ni yma yng Nghymru am roi o'i hamser i ddarparu'r rhain ac yn edrych ymlaen yn fawr at y datblygiadau ddaw yn sgil y prosiect hwn i'r dyfodol. Dyma ni felly, Nia Jones.
Diolch Llifon. Pnawn da, mae'n braf iawn cael bod yma i siarad am Carlam Cymru heddiw. As Llifon said, Carlam Cymru is a project that was set up by Welsh Government a few years ago now, and the first round of sessions took place in 2021. And the purpose of the Carlam Cymru sessions is to provide additional support to learners as they revise for their GCSE and A-level exams. Now, these are free sessions held after school hours. Sesiynau am ddim yw'r rhain sy'n digwydd ar ôl oriau ysgol, ac mae disgyblion yn gallu dewis mynychu y sesiynau yn fyw, live sessions, yn fyw, neu maen nhw'n gallu mynd ag edrych ar y recordiadau o'r sesiynau hynny sydd ar y wefan yn eu hamser eu hun, felly ar unrhyw amser, a dweud y gwir. It's also good for the teachers. The Carlam Cymru teachers have an opportunity to work together and collaborate with teachers from different schools, from different areas. And it's an opportunity for them to contribute to their professional development in that way. Ar y sleid nesaf, mae'n dangos ar y chwith y cyfresu o sesiynau sydd wedi digwydd hyd yma. Felly, yn y cylchoedd glas, fe welwch chi bod sesiynau wedi digwydd, y sesiynau cyntaf wedi digwydd yn hymor y Gwanwyn 2021. Wedyn, yn y flwyddyn academaidd 2021-2022, roedd sesiynau yn hymor yr Hydref ac yn hymor y Gwanwyn, ac yr un fath eto yn y flwyddyn academaidd 2022-2023. Felly, yn hymor y Gwanwyn eleni, roedd 50 o athrawon wedi cymryd rhan, 50 teachers took part, ac roedd 224 o sesiynau unigol wedi digwydd, 224 individual revision sessions. Ar y dde, on the right, you will see the total number of views that our recordings, that the recordings of these online revision sessions have had. So it's close to 50,000 views, which is really positive. And when we're out and about, we do hear really positive feedback from teachers who use these resources, a hefyd gan y disgyblion. Enghraifft, roedden ni yn y sioe addysg genedlaethol yn Llandudno yn ddiweddar, ac mi gawson ni adborth cadarnhaol iawn gan athrawon, a hefyd gan rieni sy'n digwydd bod, gan athrawon sy'n digwydd bod yn rieni hefyd i blant sy'n gwneud aroliadau. So really good positive feedback. Sleid nesaf. Mae gennym ni ar yn gwefan, mae gennym ni fideos, bob math o fideos sy'n dangos, sy'n rhoi cefndir i'r prosiect Carlam Cymru. Yn yr un ar y chwith, mae yng nghydweithiwr Stephen Williams yn rhoi trosolwg o'r prosiect. Felly, os ydych chi eisiau gwybod mwy, os ydych chi eisiau gweld y fideo yna, ewch i'r wefan. And then with the video on the right, we have Nerys Stevens, who is a teacher in Ysgol Bro Pedyr in Lampeter, and she's one of our Carlam teachers and has been with the project, I think, from the start, and she's a very experienced teacher, and she gives the teacher perspective to the project. I'm now going to hand over to Stephen Williams, my colleague. Mae Stephen yn mynd I siarad trwy y sleidiau nesaf. Diolch, Stephen.
Good afternoon. First of all, I'm glad that they chose this still, because the other video is very, it's not a pleasant picture of myself. But yeah, diolch Nia for choosing that image. So yeah, my name's Stephen Williams. I work with a part of the e-sgol project, and I coordinate provision in Ceredigion, Powys and Pembrokeshire, but also been involved in the Carlam Cymru revision session since its inception. Now, What's great about the Calan Cymru sessions is that we engage with a range of stakeholders. Teachers is the most important one. So like Nia mentioned, we've got 50 teachers on board with Calan Cymru, and we utilise their expertise and their professionalism to deliver the courses. But we also work and have partnered up with Welsh Government, with WJC, Gyrfa Cymru, so Careers Wales, Qualifications Wales, and are part of the Power Up campaign that you may have been aware of. It's really was in the lead up to the exam season. There's lots of information being published around the Power Up, and as together we work with those different stakeholders with Welsh Government. And have obviously released these resources, the revision resources, alongside the work, the blended learning resources that WGAC have created, and all the work that Qualifications have done in the lead up to the exams. And this is the second year that we've been involved with the Power Up campaign, which is fantastic. So how the sessions are delivered at a teacher level is that we utilise and use Microsoft Teams and the live event within the Teams environment to deliver the course. Now, this conference today has been delivered through a live event, so we've got people from all across Wales accessing the course, and it's been delivered through a live event. Now, what behind the scenes, the teachers would be in a holding pen, so tu ôl i'r llenni, behind the curtains, where they then are able to manage what resources, content they're sharing during the lessons, and then it's split screen. So then the information on the right, then that is what the students would see, and then the images, the stills on the right here, that is what the students would see as they're engaging live during those sessions, or as watching the recordings. Now, the reasons that we've gone down the live event route, other than just a bog standard Teams call, is because of safeguarding. By accessing a live event, students don't need to log in, their images, their faces aren't shared, their email addresses aren't shared, so it's a safe environment for students from across Wales to access those resources. Once the live events are finished, we then upload them onto our website. So we have a Calan Cymru tab within our website, e-sgol.cymru, where the students then can access either the GCSE, Tygau, Uwch Gyfrannol, or Safon Uwch. So the different levels of resources and recordings they can access in the lead up to their exams. Now, these are available throughout the year. So these can be used in the autumn term if there are any exams that the students are sitting, and they can be used throughout the year. And again, they are split into subject based, so then the students then can search for the resources that best suits their exams that they're going to be sitting. And this is what it looks like on the website. So there's a filtering section available on the website where the students can search for different levels, languages, subjects. And then they would click on the resources to access the activities themselves. So these are self-directed lecture style resources that the students can access the recordings, and any resources that the teachers associate or upload, well, we upload, but provide that sit alongside the resources. But what's vitally important regarding these revision sessions is not to replace the amazing work that the teachers are doing already in their schools. These revision sessions sit alongside the work that's been done in schools to support and to provide extra revision guidance and videos for the students to do in their own homes. Yeah, and just here's another example of how we split it in. So the students would click on the accordions, and then they would click on the resources to access the resource in preparation for the examinations. Yeah, and again, that's just an example of what they would look like. And what's quite beneficial about these revision sessions, they do range from about half an hour to 45 minutes in length. However, because they're uploaded online, they can be paused. So we do encourage the teachers to prompt the students to pause the recordings if they have any activities to complete. So they can pause it, complete the task that the teacher would provide them in the recording, and then press play then to actually access the actual the answers and so on. So it's a very intuitive very flipped learning kind of activities that the students can complete in their own time. That's me for now. Good, diolch.
Diolch, Stephen. Ar y sgrin rwan, mae yna flyers lliwgar iawn da ni wedi defnyddio I ddenu yr disgyblion sydd wedi gwylio y sesiynau yma I ddod I roi I hadborth I ni. Felly, we're now using an Instagram account to add to our Facebook and Twitter accounts as a way of attracting the attention of learners. And we really want to hear from learners. We want to hear what they think of these sessions. I mean, the figures are good, they're watching them, and we've had good feedback when we're out and about, but we do want to hear what they think. Is there anything that we could do differently? Do they have any ideas about sessions on other subjects or other topics that might be helpful to them? So to this end, we're going to be meeting with a group of learners at the end of this week, in fact, on a Teams meeting, a group of about 15 learners. So this is going to be really helpful, an opportunity to get their views. Felly hefyd, da ni'n mynd I fod yn siarad efo grŵp o athrawon ar ddiwedd yr wythnos hon, achos hefyd mae barn yr athrawon I hynna'n yn bwysig iawn I ni. Da ni eisiau gwybod oes unrhyw heriau pan maen nhw'n cymryd rhan yn y sesiynau hyn, oes unrhyw beth maen nhw eisiau gwneud yn wahanol ac ati. Felly, a wedyn sesiynau I ddysgwyr yw'r rhain wedi'r cyfan. These are sessions for learners and that is why their opinion is so important. Then next slide. So we will be running further sessions next year. 2023-2024 bydd sesiynau, rhagor o sesiynau yn digwydd, a da ni'n dal I edrych am athrawon mewn rhai pynciau. So there are some subjects where we still need teachers to join our pool. Felly, os oes diddordeb, ewch i'r wefan, neu dwedwch wrth yr athrawon yn eich ysgolion chi am y prosiect hwn, ac dylen nhw fynd i'r wefan, please let them know, let teachers, any teachers who are interested, let them know about this project, and they can go to our website and see the information that's there about what subjects we have vacancies in and what they need to do to show an interest, to express an interest and take part. Felly, for the teachers, ar gyfer yr athrawon, da ni'n talu'n dda, felly da ni'n gwerthfawrogi bod athrawon yn gwneud y gwaith hwn yn eu hamser eu hunain ar ôl oriau ysgol ar ben eu swydd brysur iawn yn yr ysgol. And for that reason, the teachers are very busy in their everyday job. They do this in addition to their everyday job. We do pay well to show our appreciation for their work in this project. Felly, ewch i'r wefan, go to the website I ffindio allan mwy. Felly, dyna ni ag ar y sleid nesa. Hapus I, diolch am wrando. Happy to take any questions if there are any. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr iawn I Nia. Thank you very much, Nia. So something I forgot to do at the beginning was to introduce who we are. So you've met Nia, our operational coordinator. You've met Stephen, our Mid Wales leader for e-sgol. I'm Llifon, head of e-sgol. We've got Rhian in the green in the middle there, who's the leader for South Wales. And right at the back, we've got Helen, who is the leader for North Wales. Felly dyna ni fel tîm, heblaw am un person pwysig iawn, a mi fyddai'n I chyflwyno chi rwan. So the next person to come up here is Siwan Richards. And Siwan is the project manager for a relatively new project that started this year, or in its pilot scheme at present. A mi fydd Siwan yn rhannu bach o wybodaeth efo ni am y project hwnnw, sef ymlaen gyda'r dysgu. So here now, Siwan.
Pnawn da bawb. Siwan Richards, fel mae Llifon wedi gweud, ydw i, a fi'n reolwr prosiect ymlaen gyda dysgu. Braf yw gweld cymaint ohonoch chi fan hyn mewn person wyneb yn wyneb heddi ac hefyd yn rhithiol. I'm the project manager for Onwards with Welsh, and here is a flavour of what it's about. Right then. Beth yw cefndir ymlaen gyda dysgu? Y llynedd cyhoeddodd Llywodraeth Cymru i bod am i bobl ifanc barhau i gael gwersi Cymraeg wedi iddyn nhw gwblhau eu cyrsiau tygau. Gwersi o bob gallu i bobl rhwng 16 a 25 mlwydd oed. Last year, Welsh Government announced that they wanted young people to continue to receive Welsh lessons after they finished their GCSEs. Lessons to young people between 16 and 25 years old of all abilities. Mae'r prosiect penodol hwn gan Lywodraeth Cymru yn cael ei redeg gan e-sgol, felly gyda ni, ar y cyd gyda'r ganolfan dysgu Cymraeg genedlaethol. Mae ymlaen gyda'r dysgu yn cynnig sesiynau codi hyder siarad Cymraeg i ddisgyblion ail iaith blwyddyn 12 a 13 sydd ddim am barhau gyda Chymraeg lefel A. E-sgol sy'n gweinyddu'r prosiect, felly dyna fy rôl i a'r ganolfan dysgu Cymraeg yn darparu'r tiwtoriaid. The Welsh Government project is run by e-sgol alongside the National Centre for Learning Welsh. Onwards with Welsh provides sessions to raise confidence in speaking Welsh to pupils in years 12 and 13 who are not continuing with Welsh A-level. e-sgol is administering the project, which is my role, and the National Centre for Learning Welsh is providing the tutors. The sessions started last year's autumn term with a pilot in Powys schools, with a further pilot in Powys and Ceredigion in April. By now, the sessions are available throughout Wales, with the summer sessions happening right now. Felly dyma be ddywedodd disgyblion a fi ar y sesiynau diwetha am ymlaen gyda dysgu. The feedback from the pupils who attended the previous sessions are very positive. Gwella sgiliau, improve skills, mwy o hyder o fewn yr iaith, confidence within the language from day to day and for university. Siarad Cymraeg gyda athrawes garedig, speak Welsh with a kind teacher. Gwneud ffrindiau newydd, datblygu sgiliau newydd a chael hwyl. Make new friends, develop new skills and have fun. This gives you a flavour of what the sessions offer to the pupils in their own words. Felly dewch i ni droi at beth mae'r sesiynau yn cynnwys. What do the sessions look like? Sesiynau sgwrsio i ymarfer siarad Cymraeg a gwrando, gan fynd dros geirfa o brawddegau o ddydd i ddydd. Unwaith yr wythnos yn rhithiol dros Teams gyda thiwtor y ganolfan dysgu Cymraeg. Mae nhw'n bennaf ar gyfer disgyblion blwyddyn 12 a 13 ail iaith Cymraeg, sydd ddim am barhau gyda Chymraeg lefel A, ond maen nhw hefyd i siaradwyr iaith gyntaf sydd am godi hyder yn siarad Cymraeg. Sgwrsio a gwrando i'r bwriad, felly dim gwaith ychwanegol, dim gwaith ysgrifenedig nac arholiad. They are talking sessions to practice speaking and listening Welsh, going over day-to-day words, phrases and sentences. Virtual sessions once a week over Teams with an experienced tutor from the National Centre for Learning Welsh. The sessions are for Year 12 and 13 second language Welsh pupils who do not want to continue with A-level Welsh, but they're also open for first language speakers who want to raise their confidence. The intention is to chat and listen. It's informal, it's relaxed, so no extra work, no writing or exam. Mae sesiwn yr haf bellach yn mynd rhagddo gyda 50 wedi cofrestru o ysgolion ar draws Cymru. 50 pupils registered for these summer term sessions from schools in Denbighshire right down to the Vale of Glamorgan. The sessions are held virtually over Teams once a week for 5 weeks. Felly yn dilyn... O, di hwnna ddim ymlaen. Yn dilyn diwedd y sesiynau sy'n rhedeg ar hyn o bryd, bydd disgyblion llwyddiannus yn cael tystysgrif a phecyn e-sgol. Gofynnwn bod disgyblion yn mynychu 80% o'r sesiynau i fod yn llwyddiannus. Edrychwn ymlaen i gael adborth y disgyblion ac athrawon ar y sesiynau ar gyfer eu datblygu erbyn y sesiynau nesaf ac i'r disgyblion bydd yn dod trwyddo nesaf. Following the end of these sessions that are currently running, successful pupils will receive a certificate and an e-sgol pack. We ask that pupils attend 80% of the sessions to complete onwards with Welsh. We look forward to receiving feedback from pupils and teachers on these sessions. As this is the first full group attending ymlaen gyda dysgu, we welcome feedback to develop and improve them for next time. The next sessions will be running in September with registration now open for those. The content is created especially for these 10 sessions. A tutor will guide the pupils through a series of PowerPoints which will include a variety of activities to review basic patterns and reinforce GCSE second language work. Part of the sessions will be listening to and discussing Welsh songs with activities to accompany each song. The activities and music is targeted obviously towards these young people. Information is available on e-sgol's website. Information has gone out to schools over email as well as posters and flyers, and messages are posted on social media regularly. Y prif nod, wrth gwrs, yw sicrhau bod mwy a mwy o ddisgyblion ac athrawon yn dod i wybod am y prosiect a rhoi'r cyfle i'r disgyblion yma i fynychu'r sesiynau gwerthfawr. The main aim is for more and more people, pupils and teachers to learn about the project and be a part of these great sessions. What we have seen from registration in the past is that teachers have a big influence over sharing the message and getting pupils to register and join. Y prif fydd o'r sesiynau yma yw bod y bobl ifanc ac ysgolion yn cael profiad newydd a chyfle i barhau gyda'i Cymraeg llafar. The main benefit of these sessions is that young people and schools have a new experience and a chance to continue speaking Welsh. Hefyd, wrth gwrs, datblygu hyder i siarad Cymraeg fel eu bod nhw'n parhau gyda'r iaith yn y dyfodol. Sgil gwerthfawr y dyfodol ar gyfer ceisiadau, swyddi, prentisiaeth a prifysgol. Maen nhw'n gweud bod pobl sydd gyda mwy nag un iaith yn meddwl yn fwy creadigol, felly yn arbennig ar gyfer y dyfodol. Cyfle i gwrdd â disgyblion o ysgolion eraill a tiwtor profiadol. Sdim gwaith ychwanegol nac arholiad, felly jyst ymuno yn y sesiynau ac ymarfer yr iaith. Mae'r sesiynau am ddim i ysgolion. Yr unig beth sydd ei angen yw disgyblion, gliniadur iddyn nhw ymuno ac ystafell dawel. So the benefits: develop pupils' confidence in speaking Welsh so that they continue with the language in the future. A valuable skill for applications, jobs, apprenticeships and university. They say that people who speak more than one language think more creatively. An opportunity to meet pupils from other schools and an experienced tutor. No extra work, so no writing, no exam. So just to join in the sessions and practice the language. The sessions are free for schools. The only thing needed are pupils, a laptop for them to join and a quiet room. Felly dyna i chi wybodaeth am sesiynau ymlaen gyda dysgu. Diolch yn fawr am wrando. Thank you for listening. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, or I'm here to have a chat afterwards. Diolch yn fawr i chi. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr iawn i Siwan. Prosiect cyffroes, prosiect newydd, ac yn edrych ymlaen i weld y prosiect hwnnw yn datblygu a new and exciting project. And we very much look forward to seeing that project develop further in the future. Mi sonies i'n ystod fy sylwadau cychwynnol prama bod ni wedi cynnal a ffurfio cymunedau dysgu proffesiynol eleni, a hynny mwyn rhoi cyfle i athrawon rannu arferion da a datblygu eu harferion hwrth gynnal sesiynau rhithiol. Mae hwn yn rhywbeth da ni'n awyddus iawn i ddatblygu ymhellach y flwyddyn nesaf, fel bod mwy a mwy o'n hathrawon ni yn dod yn fwy hyderus yn ei gallu i ddarparu sesiynau ar fodel hybrid fel e-sgol. We'll now hear from e-sgol teachers who have been part of this year's PLC. And to talk more about this, may I introduce Stephen Williams, e-sgol's Mid Wales leader and this year's lead on the PLCs. Diolch, Stephen.
Hello again. The PLC Cymuned Dysgu Proffesiynol. Felly, blwyddyn yma, this year, let's go back a bit more. So I think over the last couple of years, we've really focused on the technology side of these e-sgol, this hybrid learning. And I believe as a team, we've struck a correct little chord when it comes to the technology. So going back to Llifon's, one of the points where he raised was we're really focusing on the pedagogy before technology for this academic year. I think the technology we've looked at, we've finalised, and we're quite happy with the technology side, but it's the pedagogy is something that we've really focused on this year, and it's pedagogy before technology. And in order to do that, we've set up a PLC with a number of teachers from across Wales who have been very enthusiastic, very, I wouldn't say opinionated, but they've got plenty to say on how we can develop the pedagogy side of the e-sgol lessons. And I value their feedback. They're smirking here, but I do value their inputs and their views over this year. So we set up this PLC and we sent an open invite to all the schools involved in the e-sgol project, and we did focusing on the languages element, because we identified that the languages courses needed that level of interactiveness and that communication skills needed maybe to fine tune as a project. As a result, we formed obviously an MFL PLC with the following teachers. So we've got Skeiner, who's in attendance here today from Ysgol Bro Pedyr, Magli from Ysgol Maes y Dderwen in Powys, and we also had Hannah Evans from Penglais, Gwennan and Anthea from Ysgol Creidyn in Conwy, and then we were supported by Helen and Rian as part of this PLC. And even though we were a small little crew, we have really worked on a number of aspects when delivering a hybrid learning course. So why establish it? So like I mentioned, we identified that we wanted to focus on and look at the pedagogy of delivering a hybrid learning course, but also we wanted to provide the e-sgol teachers with a platform where they can have communications, talk to each other, share and develop innovative ways of delivering a languages course via a hybrid learning approach. And it was an opportunity for them to just to maybe touch base with other teachers from across Wales. Now, teaching can be very insular, where teachers can maybe be in their own little bubble within their schools, but to encourage collaboration, obviously, this PLC has just given teachers an opportunity to discuss and to share ideas, what goes well in their lesson, lessons, what doesn't go so well, and just a forum for them to share really good ideas. It also, by focusing on the languages and the MFL aspects, it also supports the Global Future strategy. I know that it hasn't been updated since 2022. However, one of the targets within the Global Futures strategy published by Welsh Government is with the aim of increasing the opportunities for our learners to study languages at all levels. And not only in Key Stage 4, Key Stage 5 and Key Stage 3, but also your primary level. When you consider Curriculum i Gymru, where primary schools now need to be aware of and to use more modern foreign languages, so the question we've posed is how can e-sgol support our primary feeder schools or primary clusters on developing that element within Curriculum for Gymru? By delivering a hybrid learning approach, teachers that do deliver the e-sgol courses have the opportunity to deliver online courses for the primary teachers. And also we've also engaged, like Llifon has mentioned, engaged and worked on Welsh Government initiatives. and specifically the Remote Asynchronous Learning Design Group. So that was the overreaching purposes for the group. But I think ideally, I'm sure Magley and Gaynor will vouch for this. It's just been an opportunity for them just to share good ideas. What's gone well, what hasn't gone well, I do this. So it's just a professional in dialogue between each other. Now, when we look at an e-sgol lesson, we adopt a hybrid learning model, where an e-sgol course is delivered in 3 sections. You've got your remote synchronous, remote asynchronous, and then your face-to-face sessions. So remote synchronous is, I'd say, 90% of the e-sgol courses, where the lessons are delivered either through Teams or Google Classroom. And obviously they are then scheduled within the school timetable, so the students then go to their rooms or their designated rooms to access the courses. Remote asynchronous then is just a glorified word for homework tasks, or tasks that students can complete in their own time, but within a certain time frame. And again, that could be through assignments from Microsoft Teams, assignments through Google Classroom, could be listening to podcasts and answering questions. It could be a range of opportunities. And then the cherry on top then, when it comes to hybrid learning, is the face-to-face sessions. So they then ensure that the students have an opportunity to build relationships with the teachers and fellow students, and to build trust and so forth. So that's the model that e-sgol adopts when it comes to delivering these hybrid learning approaches. And there's nothing new with these steps. However, as e-sgol, and in working with Welsh Government on their Remote Asynchronous Learning Design Group, I like the acronyms, don't they? The RALD group. We were able to work and engage with Welsh Government and the pedagogy team to really focus in on how can we develop, as e-sgol teachers, some rich resources that students can use and utilise in delivering remote asynchronous activities that sits alongside the remote synchronous, the live lesson, and the face-to-face sessions. And they can be done as a flipped learning activity. They can be done as homework tasks or independent tasks. So we've really engaged with Welsh Government, and we have produced some resources that Magley will share in a moment. But also the remote synchronous and the remote asynchronous, they do sit side by side. And there are resources and tools available through Microsoft Teams and Google Classroom where both elements can blend into one. And again, Magley and Gaynor will run through their examples in a moment. Okay, that's it. So yeah, it's been quite a refreshing time working with the PLC, to be honest. Something that's been quite refreshing for me and for the teachers to really focus in on different areas of the teaching. And again, going back to the main point for this PLC is focusing on the pedagogy before technology. And on that point, otherwise I'll just keep on talking. I'm going to pass you over to Gaynor first. So from Ysgol Bro Pedyr. So Gaynor delivers French in Ysgol Bro Pedyr. So she delivers it with 2 other schools that feed into the provision, and fantastic teacher and a really good advert really how e-sgol can really develop within the languages forum. Good.
Wel, diolch gyda am siarad trwy gymaint, achos mae hwnna'n rhoi llai o amser I fi. Diolch yn fawr. So, beth cyntaf sydd â fi weid falle yw bod fi, ar y dechrau pan o'n i'n dysgu trwy ysgol, mae'n wir bod ni yn ofn dysgu iaith drwy sgrin. Achos bod ni ar y degau yn teimlo falle bydden ni ddim yn cael disgyblion I wirioneddol teimlo'r hyder na I gallu defnyddio'r iaith. Ond, doedd hynny ddim yn para'n hir. O fewn wythnosau a gyda bach o hybrid a cael cwrdd â'r disgyblion a dod I greu rapport gyda disgyblion a'r holl dulliau eryll sydd I gael I ni gallu defnyddio I enyn y diddordeb yma a brwdfrydedd yma mewn iaith, fi wedi mwynhau mas draw a fi dal yn mwynhau dysgu drwy ysgol. Felly cyfuniad a dweud y gwir yw mae'n bwysig bod ni yn cael y cyfuniad na o e-sgol gyda synchronous, asynchronous a gwyneb yn wyneb. Fel mae'n gweud, gwaith catre, wedys di yw iawn, ond dwi ddim just yn waith catre, achos fi wedi dod lan efo ffôn fan hyn, achos fel i ni gyd yn gwybod, mae'r ffôn ma yn rhan o gorff plant yn ei arddegau erbyn hyn. Felly, mae fe'n fwy na dim ond gwaith catre. Mae fe'n waith catre maen nhw isau gwneud. Mae fe'n gwaith catre maen nhw'n mwynhau gwneud, achos na gyd rhaid i nhw wneud yw agor i ffôn, dicio arno fe, gwasgu fe, does dim ond ble maen nhw byddan nhw'n gwneud e. A wedyn, bydden nhw'n dod i'r dosbarth ble ni'n cael gwyneb yn wyneb a i ni yn gallu cael yr trafodaeth na sydd angen ar ôl i nhw fod wedi paratoi i gwaith nhw gyd ar ôl cael ei arwain gennym ni ymarfer i hunain a dod nôl i ddangos popeth maen nhw'n gallu gwneud. Felly mae fe wirioneddol yn 3 gilydd. Dyna beth sydd angen gyda hyn. Ni'n defnyddio pob math o bethau. Mae Magal yn mynd i ddod i ddangos sut mae hi'n defnyddio OneNote, fi'n credu. Fi'n dueddol o defnyddio Teams. Yn Saesneg hefyd. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the main thing that I was going to say is that pupils in general and teachers, when we look at e-school, we are a little bit frightened by it. We're probably a little bit scared about the thought of teaching languages in particular, which is an interactive subject through a screen. However, within a few weeks of seeing all the different tools and platforms and apps and support that we get as well, actually, I didn't mention that in Welsh, but the support that we get from Stephen and Helen and everybody for us to be able to deliver these lessons to pupils, suddenly the skills that they've developed are ones that will help them not just through the A-level, but also prepare them for university. They learn how to work independently, they learn how to reach deadlines, they can prioritize what they were doing. And in particular, when we talk about the face-to-face remote and asynchronous and synchronous teaching, it's the phone that helps to get them to do the homework. They all have a phone, it's an appendage for a teenager. Homework, when they need to open their laptop and they need to go on, very often is late being done. However, when they use their phones, they always complete it. I've got to say that in the year 12 and year 13 that I have taught recently, maybe I'm just very lucky, they're never late with that work. They've always completed them all for me. Magali will show you on OneNote how we can then, as teachers, guide the learning and improve it before they come back to the face-to-face lessons. And then in face-to-face lessons, because they've developed that confidence through the remote synchronous lessons that we have given them, followed on with their own homework, but seems almost like a fun activity for them, to tell the truth, because they see that they make progress very quickly. They can discuss, take part, and show us how much they have learned. And when it comes to language, that's the most vital thing with them. If they can speak French within a month or so, then they really see that progress. So, Maggie, do you want to come up?
So Magali Dwi doing the ski and e-sgol Cynhadledd in Powys, and that's all. I speak English after that. So I use especially, I'm on the project since 4 years at least now. So I started, and at first I thought, okay, I'll try. And I'm learning. I learned at the same time as my student, and now I think this year I feel like, wow, e-sgol, yeah, easy. I know what I use. I use my OneNote for my synchronous teaching. I use asynchronous learning too for homework and for summer work. They're excited about that. So in year 12 with teaching film. So I use La Rafle, and I just uploaded my booklet. I've done a booklet that I can improve on OneNote really fast. And I upload it, and the children, they go through the pages. So I tell them, you go on OneNote in your booklet, and they go through the exercise. That's during lesson. And then I upload that on collaboration space. Each of them, just before the lesson, that's CS, for example, she put it in the right theme in her own space. So the collaboration space is organized the same way than my their space. And they learn that really quickly. In September, I spend some time with them. We go through how we use e-sgol, and it's easy to do. So then, say I ask them to write an essay. I want it by a certain date. What I like with OneNote, I can annotate where I want, when I want. So it's really fast. So I got my XP pen and I annotate my essay. And sometimes they correct themselves before the lesson. So it goes a lot faster for the whole lot of us, for my student and for me, because they can see before they come back what was wrong, instead of they bring me back an essay, I bring it back home, I renote it, and I re-bring it back. It's a lot faster that way, I found. So we do it, I win time, and we need it because we don't have so many hours to teach languages nowadays. So I also use OneNote asynchronously when I give them, so that's asynchronous in a way, because it's homework. For the lesson, you got the dates. I got a nice girl this year. She write the dates. So they got all the theme. And like this, we're starting theme 3, so that's year 13 in languages. We've got that opportunity in June to start the next year course, and that's a summer work. So like next week, I want her by the end of the week to do that. Histoire de l'immigration 3945, Annes Migration, if you want. And I put the audio link in Teams. So I use Teams and OneNote in parallel. So often they got the audio phone on their phone at home and they work on their laptop. In school, they got the main screen and their laptop on the desk. And they use both. They write there, they listen there, or most of them after a month, they use their phone because it goes faster, they stop it as they want. So they listen and they do all the exercise. I found at first YouTube more difficult, but I just need to put in my team that the day I sent the link and they just go back on the right date in Teams, and it's easy. If in June next year she wants to re-listen to it, because I think listening to the target language is really important. So if she wants to listen to it in June, she'll have a whole file in Teams of different listening we've done during the school year. She can go, I will have annotate. She knows what she will need to revise as a specific student. It could be a year. And she can do it. So I find that really, really easy to use by now, to be honest. And I can even add things during the holidays. I just tell them no need to work on it now, because some are keen or they think I want them to work all the time. So if I want to avoid that, the only thing I need to do is to put it on teacher only. I forget sometimes. Sometimes I put it directly in collaboration space, but that's me. But yeah, if you put it there, nobody sees it, and the student, they don't feel like, oh, Miss is sending too much work today. So, but they know you by year 13, so it's fine. So I think it's really good, and it's everything in the same place. And even for me, when comes the exam time, I just need to go back to the essay to see what I really need to revise with them. Some of them needs to improve introduction or points in the essay. So I see all my notes and I know, okay, remember, that's what you need to check. That's what you need to check. And they can have their own little list. I got a girl who used a card to write everything I told her to do for the essay. So I think it's really useful, and it's less difficult to lose in a way, because it's all there in my OneNote, to be honest. So that's it for OneNote. Gaynor, ito? Oh, yeah.
So beth o'n i'n mynd i weid ynglyn â OneNote. Mae OneNote yn dda iawn ar gyfer gwaith yn y dosbarth. So if there's what you would normally use as worksheets that you're photocopying, you can use these in OneNote quite easily. And it's not, that's the thing, it's not changing the way you're teaching, it's just adapting it a little bit. You're not going to throw out your flashcards and throw out all of your folders and files. You're still using them, but you're going to use them in a different way. And the thing that Magali mentioned about they do all the work, they're quite keen. I think there's something about the fact that it is digital, that it's on the screen, that they can find it easily on their laptop, on their phone, that makes this more efficient in a way. They do that, the grammar work, the exercise, the writing, very, very quickly. It's the speaking that can be a little bit of a sticking point for us in language. Felly gyda ni, siarad yw'r elfen sy'n anodd. Fi ddim wedi ddangos ddech chi, ond na i jyst drafod yn gloi, na i jyst gweud, felly fi'n defnyddio Sway a Teams yn aml. Mae Sway yn dda achos mae fe tipyn bach fel fy folder. Fi fel se fi yn gallu creu gwefan bron, a mae popeth i fi angen yn y Sway na iddyn nhw. Maen nhw dal yn gallu, allai rhoi Google Playlist mewn iddo fe os ydw i eisiau, allai rhoi links i cyn-bypyrau ynddo fe, allai rhoi dyddiadau ynddo fe, ond mae popeth mewn un lle, a mae fe ar gael ar bob adeg. So with Sway, the thing that is handy is that it's very, very easy to use. It adapts to whatever the screen they're using is, and I can put everything in it. It's like my filing cabinet. It's like creating my own website, but I can use everything else. So I could put Flip in it, for example, which is really useful for when they're doing their speaking. Pupils at first in year 12 put their phone that way around and just speak. By year 13, they're like this. All talking, yeah, but the beginning is just speaking. You only hear, but by the end they're a lot more confident. So it's a little bit like Magali said, it's something that develops with time. It's important to create that rapport. Those face-to-face times are important for us to create the rapport with the pupils, but it's not reinventing the wheel. It's just adapting, moving on to a way that helps those pupils advance and progress at a quicker speed, really, when we're doing it through e-sgol.
So with a Welsh-speaking colleague, fully Welsh-speaking, we created a playlist on Hub using Hub and in English or in Welsh. They just need to click here and they go the Welsh version. So it was for an asynchronous piece of work that time to help them to revise for the exam of this year, because it's the first real year they're doing exams since 2 years. So we thought it's less than 5 minutes, so it's really short. It's quite appealing. I find playlist is quite nice to look at, and I tried it on my own year 9 son who say, "Whoa!" And and I thought, wow, I interest him in French. That's amazing. So it's really good if you go through it. So they got like we try to do something fast, and we both coming from different background school, because I'm in an English-speaking school and she was in a Welsh-speaking school. What the common mistakes students could make in languages, and we wanted to try with short, easy exercise, which is one of the questions of the WGEC exam paper. So it's a true-false question. So they have, we thought we start with a quiz to see, for them to see where they are and to revise their previous knowledge from year 7 and up to now. And they go through the 17 questions. They started, you don't need to do it now, but it's easy, and you can create the quiz somewhere else, and as Gaynor said, upload it on playlist. It's quite easy, you organize your playlist as you want. When they finish, they go back to the proper paper. So they got 2 papers, and here we created, if you scroll, an example question that we did. I did the English version and she did the Welsh version. So we go through the paper itself and we explain to them what they're supposed to do. We annotate with our pen. So it's nice to watch for them. It's easy. It's quite fast. It's I can't remember how long it was, but it's really fast. And then they do their own example, and we gave them the correction for that example. It lasts 5 minutes to go through it. They can do it, as Gaynor said, on a bus, in the car, because you can do it on a laptop, but if you take it on your phone, it's size for the phone. So a lot, I'll try it on my students, and they liked it because they can, anywhere you are, 5 minutes, they're revising, it's easy to use, it's easy to access, and we thought it's not only for e-sgol teacher, it's for any child in Wales, in any school, any type of learning, if you face-to-face every day or not. It's just an easy way to revise, and I'm thinking you can do more, and we could share more of this. That's what the CPD is for, to share what we're thinking and the resources we think about and we could create together. And the talk, when we explained the paper, it was just a PowerPoint with my voice recorded that I uploaded on the playlist, and all of a sudden it looks amazing. Well, it's just a PowerPoint with an audio recorder, so it's not that complicated. Even the final work look more professional. In fact, so it's really good way to do it, I think.
So like I mentioned, this PLC has been really quite refreshing, just engaging with different teachers from across Wales and focusing on that remote asynchronous, but like Magli mentioned, not just for the e-sgol lessons, but remote asynchronous activities that can be developed in other subjects in your traditional lessons in the classroom. And going back to the OneNote and the class notebook, it's a remote synchronous and also a remote asynchronous tool. It can be done. It's a digital lever arch folder where the students can do their work in class, on the school bus, at home, and teacher then can provide live feedback to the students as and when. And when you consider that e-sgol, that blend, that hybrid learning approach, where Magli and Gaynor may not see the students maybe face to face they see them every half term. You can provide feedback to the students using the annotations on the pens instantly for the students to act upon. So it's just yeah, again, thank you so much for your involvement this year, and we'll look forward to continuing the work next academic year. So thank you. Good.
Na ia Tegr, diolch yn fanna i Stephen am arwain ac i'r athrawon am fod yn rhan o'r PLC yna hefyd. I'll add my thanks to the hard work that the PLC has carried out this year, along with Stephen. And as I mentioned earlier, it's something that we wish to develop further next year, form new PLCs so that more teachers can be part of this. Mae'n gyfle i athrawon o bob rhan o Gymru ddod at ei gilydd i gydweithio. It's a way of sharing good practice, voicing concerns, sharing ideas with each other. Teachers from across Wales will be able to be part of those. A dyna ni, felly dyna'r rhan gyntaf y gynhadledd wedi dod i ben. Rheini ohonoch chi sydd yma, mae yna arddangosfeydd fyny yn y labordy wyddoniaeth. So those of you who are here, there are a few stores that have been set up in the science laboratory down the corridor, so you're more than welcome to go and have a look. But I think even more importantly, come and talk to us, come and have a chat with us. Gweld sut gall e-sgol falle weithio yn eich ysgolion chi, see how e-sgol can work in your schools, a mi fyddwn ni yn falch iawn o allu cael y sgwrs hwnnw efo chi. I'll finish on this note, a word of thank you very, very much to Ysgol Llangynwyd am y croeso, i Catrin yn fanna am y gwaith cydweithio sydd wedi bod wrth baratoi tuag at heddiw. We as e-sgol are very much appreciative of the cooperation between Ysgol Llangynwyd and ourselves organising this conference today. Ac wrth gwrs i Helen and Kevin hefyd sydd wedi bod yn gwneud y gwaith ti Kevin y llwyfan. Thank you to Helen who's been doing the work behind the scenes as well. Felly diolch yn fawr iawn i chi am ddod. Thank you very much indeed. Diolch.